Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Tim Dillon Show. Back in the old studio. The Great Gas Digital. Thanks to Luis Gomez and Ralph Sutton. Back here. Rogan did a podcast from the studio, so I said, you know what? I'm going to fucking come in here and give him a real treat. We give him a real treat. You had Rogan Lang. Now you have Tim Dillon with Shane Gillis. Very funny guy. We love him. You know him. SNL. They're not using you a lot this season. They will.
Nah,
they'll start.
Yeah. They haven't written me in yet.
They haven't written you in yet.
Couple sketches that got cut.
Do you think, and I know you can't really say any of this shit, but like, could you go on there and do like a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, I doubt it though. I fucking, no.
You know what I mean? Like a little, like a desk piece on
quick
Update.
Cameo where
quick in and
they
out.
all get to boo me and be like, boo.
Something fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it would be that fun.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun.
Right.
Personally.
Yeah.
But I think, because I walked past, last week, I walked past the
line.
People sleep outside on Friday night.
I always look at those people. I go,
Insane.
"What's wrong with you?"
So
this city's got so much to do.
I walked past them that night, and like they all, it's all these like weirdos with like a Saturday Night Live snow hat, like in a sleeping bag, looking up from the street. And I walked by, and they were all like,
"No, they recognize you."
Yeah, they all, of course. They
really?
all had fucking knitted SNL scarves and shit. It was a group
so
of crazy
these are
people.
sick people.
Yeah.
These are sick. Because I always look at a show like that, and with all due respect to everyone who works there, because there's one or two people on there that are funny. I always look at a show like that, and I go, how does it have fans that are like the fervor of the fandom? I get watching it. I get being like, hey, this is on. It's sketch comedy. And I think a lot of the fans of that show are casual fans of like, this is the thing that's on Saturday night. And listen, it's it's an important show in throughout history, and it's had some really amazingly funny stuff happen. But like in its current incarnation, it's interesting that there are people sleeping on the street.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm amazed that people are sleeping on the street to see anything.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the one thing that would make sense to me is sleeping on the street if like fucking Taylor Swift was there.
Sure.
And you were about to see her in a really
I gotta see her
setting.
It's intimate.
But no, they were just SNL fans. And I walked past, and this group of ladies, they were all ladies. A group of ladies were standing there, and they were like, it's Shane Gillis. And like a couple of them were excited, and then one of them was just like, gross, and gave me the finger.
Really?
And I looked back at her, and I was like, you don't mean that. Come on. And,
can you imagine being that? Let me tell you right now. If I saw Bin Laden, and let's say I buy the idea that he killed 3,000 people. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. What do I know? What do I know? It was in 11th grade. If I saw Bin Laden, like my friend's parents were incinerated. If I saw Bin Laden at a restaurant, I would be like, it's Bin Laden.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's cool
like
to see.
the idea that people are that angry at you.
Yeah.
If I saw Bin Laden, I go, it's Bin Laden.
Yeah.
That's Bin Laden. What's he about?
It's like if I saw fucking OJ, I'd be like,
I love OJ. I do see OJ. I don't see him, but I know where he hangs. I love OJ. I've said he's the only motivational speaker that anyone should follow.
That's true, dude.
Because
what a comeback.
He's lived a full life. You know what I mean? Like OJ Simpson has really, people are like, I've done it all. No, you haven't.
Heisman.
Have you? Heisman.
Cut someone's fucking head off, dude.
Decapitated his wife and her fuckboy.
Got away with it.
Walked. Went back to jail. Somehow fucked himself that way. You know?
Yeah.
He is a guy, and he's the healthiest person on Twitter.
He's out golfing.
How is he the most well-adjusted person? He gives advice. He's golfing. He's like, watch the drive. Like, I always watch his videos. He looks good for his age. He seems happy.
I mean, he's true.
Do you laugh at the hate now? Because I know there was a time when you're obviously like, you're in it and you can't laugh at it as much. I
was laughing.
You were kind of laughing at it
throughout.
Were there death threats? They're not real, though.
No, they're not real.
Right.
They're not real. So I knew that. I was never worried about death threats, except at night, like before you go to sleep. Then it's like.
Then you start thinking.
Then you lock that fucking door.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, man. But no, death threats I didn't give a fuck about. Most of them were pretty funny. Like if someone would DM me, just like you fucking fat racist pig piece
I
of
love
shit,
it.
and I'd have to, I'd be walking around and read that.
It's
and
so
be like,
funny.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, a lot of it was really funny. And then even today, they did a fucking story. Judd Apatow talked about me, and well, they asked him about me, and he, truthfully, he like responded really nicely,
Okay.
like a measured response.
Yeah.
where he was like, I don't know him, so people said he was doing a character. I don't know, whatever.
Right.
But the fucking title of the article is like SNL cast member fired for saying Judd Apatow was gayer than ISIS. And it's still
How
funny.
do you not laugh?
Like to
how
see
do you
that
not laugh?
in a headline is still funny.
How do you not laugh at that? I don't know how you don't laugh at that. I guess Judd Apatow.
I get how he doesn't fucking really laugh at
I
it.
don't know. If I had the money that Judd did and somebody said you're gayer than ISIS, I would go,
Yeah.
like who?
Yeah.
Think of what people deal with.
And maybe he did
Sure.
respond that way. Maybe
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, who gives a fuck? Who is that? Which
I
is
just-
what he should have done.
It's interesting that people, because it's interesting that anyone's like, I get the Twitter mob, but anyone actually being mad, like seeing you on the street and being like, gross.
Yeah.
That's
well,
hilarious. That's crazy.
when I looked back at her and I was like, oh, you don't mean that. Like everyone
Yeah.
kind of laughed and she smiled. It was
Yeah.
like a fun
It's
fuck
a
you,
fun thing.
Publicly shaming.
It's a fun
People
public
get a good
shaming.
kick out of it, you know?
Is it weird? Have you seen any comics? You don't have to name their names, and you're certainly welcome to. Have you seen any comics that threw you under the bus that it's awkward that you're near?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Like, yeah, there's Lori Kilmartin. You know
Yes.
her? She
I do.
threw me under the bus a little
Lori,
on Twitter.
just once.
But
Yeah.
she did.
Yeah.
She did a show with me at the stand, came up after and was like, my bad. I didn't know. She was like, I didn't know you were actually kind
Lori
of funny.
is funny and nice, but like she sat down at breakfast with me and Big J, and we were discussing the net, and like Lori was like, "Oh, did you guys not like it?" And I'm like, "Oh, you don't know any like, we've never met clearly."
Yeah.
Like,
But no, she was actually cool about it. She was one.
well,
that,
that's
like,
good.
But she did it, privately, not
Yeah.
publicly.
Well, that's what a lot of
Shit
people
on me
do.
on Twitter and then privately.
A lot of
it's like,
people,
hey.
the videos that I make, a lot of people will actually message me and go, that is so funny," but they will
Oh,
never
never.
retweet it
Fucking
because they'll never, because we do some wild shit and they'll never retweet it.
Yeah.
They just go, "Oh yeah, it's funny."
Well, that's how it's always been behind.
Yeah.
Like when I went out to L.A.
Yeah.
and went on all these fucking general meetings.
Right.
I'd go in there and I'd be like, I think Louis is the fucking best.
Right.
And every agent and fucking Hollywood
yeah, we
person was
agree.
like, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But we can't,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
every one of them. So behind closed doors, everybody knows what's funny.
Well, that's what it is. It's like, and I think a lot of people that make a lot of big money, they got it. I realize that I value freedom over money.
Yeah.
So like, I want to be able to say what I want to say. And if people are going to not like it, that's okay. But I don't know if there's enough money. I literally realized this and I'm like, I don't know if there's enough money to get me to shut up.
It's just too hard. It's too hard.
It's too hard just
To
for me
not shut
personally.
up.
And by the way, that makes me an idiot. That doesn't make me, I'm not
Yeah,
being
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm a revolutionary. I'm too stupid. Like, I don't get, because there should be enough money to make me shut up. There should be.
Yeah.
There should be, but I just don't know how to do it. I wouldn't know how to do it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's definitely hard.
And that's what you and a lot of people don't realize. You could have went out and did a mea culpa and went, there's never been an excuse to die. I am ashamed of myself and I hate. But you didn't do it.
No, I was asked to do that.
You were asked to do it.
And I couldn't, not because I was like fucking sorry about some things, like
Right.
for sure. I didn't want to fucking hurt anybody's feelings.
Of course.
I wouldn't want those words written like
Yeah.
that. Like that's not how I fucking said it or
Yeah.
what the intent was behind it.
I mean, and
So I
it did
feel
hurt a
bad.
lot of people. I mean, that's what these Hong Kong protests are about.
Yeah, they're fired
It's
up.
about your podcast. It has nothing to do with the extradition treaty. That's a cover. It hurt a lot of people. Hurt a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, even saying that, I feel fucking corny. I don't even know if I really hurt too many people.
Well, listen, here's
to
the
be
deal. I
honest.
think anything that we say, listen, this is what people don't understand about comedy. And it's because they're not funny or they don't understand like the way that funny works. You cannot control how anyone takes a joke. Like I text people and I go, "Are they going to get what I'm doing?"
Yeah, no, they're not.
You know, like I'll
lot of
text
them aren't.
somebody and I'll be like, does this person hate me now?
yeah,
I'm texting a YouTube kid I'm kind of friendly with.
Yeah.
And I text him with jokes and I don't know if he gets it.
Yeah. I doubt it.
But you did you think to yourself, if I apologize, I will for the rest of my life be owned?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. I was like, well, also if I apologize for this and say like this was inexcusable, they're gonna find fucking way
Yeah,
worse.
they're gonna be like, what about this?
Way worse.
What about this?
Yeah, I'd be like, oh well, that was also inexcusable. That was also inexcusable. And then when I'm done apologizing like that, what can I do?
I can
If
imagine
go in a
them being
comedy
like,
club,
Mr. Dillon, did you make a joke about pedophilia? Yes. Did you dress up as a temple from a pedophile island? Yes.
Yes, that was inexcusable.
I did. Yeah, I do apologize for that. But what I always say about your situation, I'm like, Shane Gillis got fired so that none of us can get hired. And I appreciate it. My agent called me the day it happened with you and went, well, we can kiss SNL goodbye. I was like, I didn't even know we were in contention. He's like, we weren't, but just in case you ever thought that.
You know, if you need, go get a potato and put a Marlboro Light in its mouth and watch that and then press play on your phone.